Who wants to live forever?
My old faithful.
The hidden silence of Freddie Mercury.
When I see myself, I actually laugh at myself.
When we talk about the history of rock music, one name stands above the rest: Freddie Mercury, the legendary frontman of Queen. He didn't just lead a band, he changed what it meant to be a performer. Freddie wasn't just a singer, he lived the music. When he performed, it felt like every heartbeat in the crowd was one with his. He turned every concert into a shared moment of energy, emotion, and life. The world saw him as powerful, confident, and larger than life, a man full of charisma and fire. But behind that shining image was a truth no one could see. A quiet battle. It started silently, hidden behind the fame and applause. Freddie was a private person. Only a few close friends were allowed into his world, and even they didn't know the full pain he was carrying inside. He chose silence, not because of shame, but because of love. He didn't want his friends to worry or feel sorry for him. He didn't want to bring sadness into their lives. Instead, he wanted them to remember him for his laughter, not his suffering. The world expected Freddie Mercury to always be strong, radiant, and unstoppable, and he gave them exactly that, even as his own strength slowly faded.
We're very strong individually, so we just keep going at each other.
The shadow of illness. Then came the shadow no one could see, a sickness that tested his body and his soul. AIDS. A word that, in the 1980s, brought fear to everyone who heard it. Freddie started visiting his doctor in secret during the early 1980s. At that time, HIV was spreading quickly, especially in New York's gay community. In one interview, Freddie, known for his humor, once joked that being promiscuous was one of his hobbies. Behind that lighthearted comment was a truth he was quietly facing alone. According to Jim Hutton, Freddie's partner, he first saw a doctor in 1986 and was diagnosed with AIDS in 1987. The virus can stay hidden in the body for years before it turns into AIDS. Doctors believed Freddie had caught it in the early 1980s, possibly during Queen's U.S. tour break between July and August 1982. The strain he carried was strong, and Freddie had no natural defense against it. Yet, even as his strength faded, his passion for music burned brighter. He kept recording, kept singing, because that's who he was, music itself. Behind the spotlight stood a man facing death with quiet courage, determined to give the world everything he had left.
Freddie in his last days was like, okay guys, I'm not going to be here long, just give me stuff to sing. I'll sing, write me stuff in the back.
The final appearance, February 18th, 1990. By the late 1980s, Freddie's energy had weakened, not his heart, but his body. Behind the laughter and smiles, he was fighting a battle most could not see. But no matter what, Freddie believed one thing: the show must go on. Then came February 18th, 1990, the Brit Awards. It was a night of lights, excitement, and celebration. Queen was to receive the Outstanding Contribution to British Music Award, honoring their incredible legacy. When Queen walked onto the stage, the audience stood in thunderous applause. For the first time in years, the world saw Freddie Mercury again. He wore a light gray suit. His hair was neat, his eyes still sparkled, but this time there was gentleness behind them. He looked thinner, softer, a man holding himself with quiet strength. Brian May gave the speech for the band, his voice proud but emotional. Then Freddie stepped forward. He looked at the crowd, thousands in front of him, millions watching from home.
And with a calm smile, he said, "Thank you. Good night." Only 4 words, but those words carried the weight of his whole life. It was his final goodbye to the world, spoken with grace and courage.
A goodbye in disguise. The audience cheered, not knowing what those words truly meant. To most, it was just Freddie being Freddie, polite, playful, mysterious. But to his closest friends, it was clear this was his last bow, a goodbye hidden in gratitude, a farewell wrapped in strength. That short moment became one of the most unforgettable appearances in music history, because soon after, the truth came out. Freddie Mercury was dying. And yet, until the end, he never let illness steal his light. After that night, Freddie disappeared from the public eye. He returned to Garden Lodge, his peaceful home in Kensington. There, he was surrounded by the people who loved him most: Mary Austin, Jim Hatton, Peter Freestone, and a few close friends. Even as his body weakened, he continued to record. Every song he sang was like a letter, his final message to the world. Every lyric was a piece of his goodbye. On November 24th, 1991, the news broke. Freddie Mercury had passed away. The world fell silent. The man who once made millions sing was gone, but his voice never truly disappeared. That moment at the 1990 Brit Awards became sacred, the last time we saw him on stage. In those 4 words, "Thank you, good night," Freddie didn't just end a speech, he ended an era. It was his way of saying, "I'm still here, but soon I must go." And in that quiet farewell, he gave us one final truth. Even when the voice stops singing, the music will always live on.
He was never maudlin, ever. I never ever saw him kind of cry or go, self-pity.
The curtain falls. As the lights dimmed that night, no one realized what they had witnessed. To most, it was just another award ceremony, but to history, it became the final bow of a fearless man who gave everything to the world. Behind those 4 simple words, "Thank you, good night," was courage, love, and grace. Freddie didn't cry or complain. He simply smiled, accepted his fate, and walked away with dignity. And when the curtain finally fell, his voice didn't fade. It lived on, in his music, in our hearts, and in the truth that love and art never die. That moment at the Brit Awards will forever be remembered, not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it was quiet, honest, and real. Freddie Mercury showed us that even in goodbye, there is beauty. Even in silence, there is song. And that the greatest performances are not just seen or heard, they are felt deep in the soul. Because legends don't leave the stage, they simply let the light fade and let the music carry them home. In the quiet of that final night, Freddie Mercury didn't just say goodbye. He reminded us that true legends never die. They simply become the music.
I want to thank each one of you for watching this video until the end. Your time and support truly mean a lot to me. Thank you from my heart. This is an open channel for your thoughts and feelings. Please share your ideas and reflections in the comment section below. Your voice matters here. Your engagement makes this journey more meaningful. If you enjoy my work, you can send a super thanks, leave a like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps me keep creating stories that inspire and connect us all. This is Legend Story TV, where every story reminds us that life is short, but when lived with passion and purpose, it becomes eternal in the hearts of those we touch.
Thank you. Good night.